Well, what's up, lords and ladies of Westeros? Welcome back to the channel. A little bit different of a video. I've got two House of the Dragon featurettes that I need to catch up on and react to because we are officially a week and a day, basically a week away from the premiere of this show on HBO Max. So I've got two of these that I'm going to react to back to back. It looks like the first one's going to be about 5.5 minutes. The other one I think is in the 4-minute range. So you're looking at a 10-minute, 11-minute, 12-minute kind of video. But hey, I have the opportunity to be with my setup here and, got to get this in. Got to get hyped for this show because this is... We're going back to Westeros, baby, and that is certainly exciting. So, without further ado, let's check this out. We've got Before the Dance, an illustrated history with George R.R. Martin, House of the Dragon. We're going to react to this one. Before we do, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, do all the great things that we do here on YouTube. If you hear my dog... the mom's out, and he's pretty upset about it. But anyway, hopefully that doesn't distract you from a fun time. Here we go.
Dragons will rule the Seven Kingdoms for the next 100 years. Just as they did the last.
Yeah, okay.
The best fiction, the best drama is about characters. The story of House of the Dragon is a story about very flawed human beings, capable of doing good things, capable of doing monstrous things.
Monstrous, for sure.
Courage, capable of cowardice. These are the kind of characters that I love the most.
Yeah, kind of like those gray characters, those in-between characters, right?
Game of Thrones.
That's the Targaryens.
Begins roughly 298 AC, almost 300 years after Aegon's conquest. House of Dragon takes place a couple hundred years before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we know.
Jaehaerys Targaryen, the old king who was the fourth Targaryen to rule over Westeros, he was only 14 when he ascended to the Iron Throne, and he ruled for 55 years. It was a very peaceful time in the history of Westeros. It was a time of prosperity. King's Landing really grew enormously.
Yes.
It was a good time. Viserys the First, who is the heir that was chosen by the Great Council, when Jaehaerys passes away, he takes over, and he is now reigning over the Seven Kingdoms. There were a lot of
So we're getting
Targaryens
some
at that
family
point,
background
and
here.
you can see how the seeds of war are sometimes planted in a time of peace. People die, and the sons take over for fathers as lords, and they don't necessarily think they're bound by their fathers' allegiances or decisions or vows. So little by little, the seeds are sprouting. Game of Thrones focused on the Starks and the Lannisters. For House of the Dragon, the Targaryens themselves, the House of the Dragon, are at center, but two of the biggest players in the Dance with the Dragon Civil War are the Valerians and the Hightowers.
Yeah. Okay,
in terms
cool.
of history in Westeros,
Man, this is giving some good knowledge for those like me that
for thousands of years.
haven't read the
Their
novels.
seat of power is Old Town, which was for many hundreds and thousands of years the biggest city in Westeros. They're a very rich house. Old Town is wealthy from trade mostly, and in the center of it is the High Tower, for which the Hightowers take their name.
Cool.
Lord Hightower is in Old Town, ruling over his domains in the city. But his younger brother, Otto Hightower, is the hand of the king when the story opens. Same position we saw Ned Stark play to Robert at the beginning of Game of Thrones.
They're definitely trying to explain some
Valerians
things
were
for
also
those
a
that
house
just
from
love the Game of
freehold
Thrones
Valyria,
show.
the mightiest empire in at least the West in my world. And they actually arrived in Westeros
His world.
before the
His world.
Targaryens. They were not dragon lords, however. They were seafarers. At that time, the freehold of Valyria depended a lot on its trade, and it was a good position to dominate trade from all the kingdoms of Westeros and from other places even further north. So they moved for reasons of trade and wealth. Of Corlys Velaryon is Lord Admiral and Master of Ships, as his own grandfather was before him of a similar name. So since Aegon's conquest, the Velaryons have been very high in the councils of the House Targaryen. And after all his voyages, he's married to Rhaenys Targaryen, the queen who never was. House Targaryen and House Velaryon, they were close. There was a definite relationship between them.
Okay. Ooh, we haven't seen that shot yet.
Targaryens are also an ancient house, but they're not an ancient Westerosi
Looks
house.
so good.
They knew that destruction was coming to Valeria and went far away from the capital city, and they settled on the volcanic island of Dragonstone.
Love that place.
They were dragon lords in Valeria. Now, dragons are really formidable, and they can turn the tide of a battle.
Sure.
It flies.
Definitely.
It's difficult to hit. It breathes fire, against which most knights and men-at-arms have little or no protection. So if you have dragons, and that's where the nuclear option analogy comes in.
Okay. If
You're
this is
hard to mess
like,
around with.
I know they're illustrating history, but
So
if
the
this is kind of
dragons and
toying out with the what the dragons are going to look like,
was
this
one
is
of
cool.
the things that made the Targaryens very secure in their power.
Dragon's Cell is one thing, but the Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm.
Yes, it is. But I still want to sit on it. All right. So that one, as I was kind of saying through there, is for sure for those of us that are not the novel readers like myself. I just really kind of fell in love with this franchise through the show. So that's definitely what this promotional piece is for. But hey, it's something that I'm definitely going to watch several times to make sure that I kind of have the proper and the necessary backstory that I definitely need going into this House of the Dragon show. All right, there's my little mini reaction to Before the Dance, an illustrated history of George R.R. Martin. Let's now check out the second one. It is titled Height of an Empire. Let's go.
I, Viserys Targaryen, do hereby name Rhaenyra Targaryen, heir to the Iron Throne.
Uh-oh.
The Targaryens
I'm sure
are
that's
the
what
sort of
creates some tension.
fascinating dynasty that we don't really know much about from the original books, because at that point they've all died out.
I don't even know where I first mentioned the idea of a Targaryen civil war called the Dance with the Dragons. But Ryan and Miguel and I have been working together, and it's exciting.
All right, we're cranking up the
Well,
intensity
as
with
any
this
great
one. I
tale
can already
out
tell.
of George's world, it's about a power struggle for the throne. But the unique one about this one is that instead of it being one family fighting another family, like Lannisters fighting the Starks, this story is about the Targaryens fighting themselves.
Targaryens, yeah.
We were 200 years
be
in
cool.
the past,
It's gonna be
but
cool.
we were at the height of the Targaryen Empire, which was a time of decadence, and by definition, the height of an empire usually means the height of its technology, the height of its hubris. We had to show this idea that this was an opulent and decadent group of people, no war for 60 years. I mean, they're a happy bunch.
And everybody knew that if you messed with the Targaryens, you would get the dragons, so nobody dared to overthrow them.
I, Lord Hobart Hightower, promise to be faithful to King Viserys.
We know
It
how
took a
that
lot of doing,
goes.
but we were able to put together a hell of a cast.
We're looking for very specific people, so the very first person we wanted was Paddy Considine.
I think Viserys struggles with being the king. Viserys feels a duty to keep peace amongst the kingdoms. Being king is a very difficult seat to be in.
Naturally,
Viserys has an
sure.
awareness of just how dangerous it is to sit on the Iron Throne.
Targaryen must understand this to be king. Or queen.
Rhaenyra is strong-minded. She's smart. I think she's underestimated.
You have dragon riders, father.
She realizes that the women within the kingdom spend their entire lives serving to men. Oh, you need to be courted. So now I need to gain the attention of men so then I can produce another man. She
Yeah.
wrestles with it. She doesn't like
These
it. She
other
doesn't
men
agree with
aren't
it.
going to respect her, unfortunately,
Brother?
even though she seems to be very
Daemon
wise.
has a great affiliation and love and admiration for his brother,
Matt
the
Smith.
king. But Daemon's all swords and knives, really.
Wish they had put
I
you
do
in
think
Star
on some
Wars
level he
like they
wants
had
to
planned.
cause chaos. I think he's interested in chaos. I think he survives in chaos quite well.
Well, because chaos is a ladder.
He's got a very, quite clear moral compass, and you're either in it or you're out of it.
It's named King's Landing because that's where Aegon the Conqueror, Aegon the Dragon, landed with his ships, and when he decided to begin the conquest of Westeros. And they built the Red Keep, which became the center of King's Landing and the place of the Targaryens and the Iron Throne.
In the original books, George always described the throne as being made from thousands of swords. I wanted to make a hybrid version that was closer to something described in the original book that still honored the throne from the original series.
I think it definitely does that.
It's kind of a throne
for
that
sure.
Says a statement. Look at my power. These are treasures of people I have killed or conquered.
Cameras are running.
I like it. I really do.
When I walked into the throne room for the first time, there was a sort of moment that I had of like, oh wow, I'm on the Iron Throne.
Man, that'd be
For
so
me, it's really
cool
this
to
particular
actually
period in
go into that
Westeros.
set.
It was a time of high decadence and peace and prosperity. So you get to see what the realm looks like before it descends into the post-decadence of war that you see in the original series.
That's a new shot. All right, there we go. Okay, we're all caught up. We are all caught up on all this promotional material that they continue to put out. Good stuff. Good stuff all the way around with both of these videos. And yeah, we are officially a week away from House of the Dragon premiering on HBO Max. I cannot wait I can't believe that we're here. And yeah, I can't wait to actually see it. I know those of you that have read the novels and things like that, you probably have a good knowledge as to what could potentially be coming in this show. But for me, try not to spoil it for me because I'm going in completely clean-minded. All I know is what happens in the Game of Thrones series, things like that, kind of what the state of the House of Targaryen by the time that show comes around. So, yeah, obviously I know that it's going to crumble. It's going to fall at some point. But, yeah, I definitely do one day want to get into the novels and things like that so I can, dissect each and every single piece. But for right now, I'm content with being surprised and taking this show as it comes at us, and it's coming at us very quick. So you let me know where your anticipation level is at for this series, because I have a feeling the next time that you hear from me regarding this series is going to be a spoiler review or spoiler discussion of the first episode that premieres next weekend. So let me know where your anticipation is at. That way I can kind of gauge where the people that are checking out these videos, where they're at kind of mentally. I know I'm stoked, but you let me know how you feel. Like I said at the top of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want some more House of the Dragon material. Hit the like button, all those good things. And I'll get out of here. As we say on our Geekverse reactions videos, our videos where we take a break from Star Wars, I'll see you on Earth 2.